my friend Charles Juneman, the discoverer of the Owl Creek pot. My name is Michael Shea, and I was fortunate enough to be with my friend Charles, and this is our other friend, Greg.
Greg Kabukas.
From Wisconsin. We're Michael and I are from Oregon, and Greg is from Wisconsin.
And we were just
brother-in-law.
We were just hiking in Owl Creek. We'd left the Owl Creek trailhead and hiked down the rim for, how far would you say? A quarter of a mile?
Quarter to a half a mile, and it was our morning break after getting out of the car where you're adjusting the straps on your pack and
having a snack.
Taking your first snack break. And
our original plan was just to rim walk and see what we could find and maybe find spots to visit in the future.
So Charles was up higher on the rim, and I was just down a little bit below him having a snack. And Charles he usually just pulls out his binoculars because he's always got them hanging from his neck, and so he just started glassing the cliffs below us, and not very far below, I think he spotted something. I'll let him tell that story.
I've always looked back. I always think when we're being pulled ahead that we're missing something spectacular. So I'm always looking back where we came from. And when I turned around and looked back quite a distance away with binoculars, one of the things we talk about is how you discover anomalies, that you get used to what the landscape is like, but if something doesn't look right, then that attracts you. And there was a whitish arc in the sun at that position that morning, way off below this boulder. And we saw that arc and knew it didn't exist in nature, that circular element.
And so I looked up at Charles, and Charles turned to me and looked at me, and he goes, and I knew instantly what he'd found. I couldn't believe it.
And we hear, "Oh my God!" And we knew something was up.
Through 10 power, so it was quite a long ways away, but it's just that anomaly just there was a shape that we knew.
So we
never saw.
So we ran down to where it was under the boulder.
Well, it took a little bit of route finding to find a way down the cliff band, but eventually we found our way down. And it was just like Charles said, it was a pot. This pot.
Greg did a lot of the photography, and then we immediately went up on the canyon top and probably for 4 hours walked and played 20 questions and talked about what do we do, who does the first phone call go to. We were with good friend Jim Beard, who lives in this area, and we all participated in kind of a questioning of each other. What do you think, and what should we do, and who do we call, and what is right? And it was a changed experience.
So we GPSed the spot, and it was Jim's suggestion to the law enforcement ranger for the BLM. And so we, the next day, made a trip up to the BLM office and took our pictures, our GPS coordinates, and pointed out the spot and showed our pictures.
And then that got the process going, I guess.
Well, we did hike for 4 hours afterwards, but we debated just ending the hike right there because we knew nothing could top what we had just done, and maybe it was time to quit the hike. But
I think
we forged on.
And the time was important. I remember that picture that we took where we were all sitting, eating, like a 2-hour lunch, just because the questions and the conversation continued about what decision to make. And I like that picture where we're all sitting there, and that was the questioning time.
So you knew the story of what happened after that, after the BLM got involved. And
I believe Jim then, with Marie Tuxorn from the BLM, went in on with those coordinates to go back to that spot, and it was at that time that the whole process of contacting the different organizations and tribes and such, and I believe they accessioned it fairly quickly because of where which we always found ironic. If they accessioned it because it was in danger of being discovered, it surely had been there for hundreds and hundreds of years without being discovered. But it's a special place now it's a special thing for our families when we come to visit, to come and talk about what you do.
So now it's here at Edge of the Cedars.
Edge of the Cedars.
Museum.
Fabulous place.
So anybody who comes here can see your discovery.
Right.
And if you hadn't found it, if you hadn't known what to do, what the right thing to do was, we wouldn't have it here to be studied and for other people to enjoy it.
And I think we walk and hike differently now. Whenever we see even the tiniest piece, that idea of the ethics and do you step on it, do you cover it, do you walk away, continually is with us now.
So it's
way
a
more
discussion
than
we
it
have.
was.
Yeah.
But we did understand the importance of not moving the pod and not disturbing it and leaving it in situ. And so we understood all that and did that. I don't know if that was helpful in the research around the pod. I don't really know that much about what they found about that pod or what it told them about the people who lived there.
My understanding was this was an isolated find and there wasn't another site around it, so they really don't know much.
Right.
Nothing close by.
Nothing
Yeah.
close by, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was one room that's a 15-minute walk. That was probably the closest.
Well, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to have you come back and visit your pot and visit the museum.
You're welcome. Thank you for
It's
doing
always
this.
a pleasure to visit this
Yes.
great place.
Thank you.